Hi there, this is Srikant Dasari. So in this lesson, we are going to look into the very fundamentals of writing a very small basic C program. Okay, so here we have a small C program in our screen, which is just to print a string or quotations or what the text which is enclosed inside the quotations here. Okay, so here our intention is to just to print this statement to C or not to C colon, that is the question, on the output window. Okay, so for that purpose we have written a small program. Okay, so here if you observe, we have at the very beginning we have the hash include statement. Okay, so almost every program, every C program starts with a include statement. Okay, so these are the library files, or also known as header files, which come along with the installation of the C program. Okay, the C programming language is well supported by the standard library, so which means that in a simple form, a C program is nothing but a collection of functions. Okay, so it can be user defined functions or predefined functions or whatever it might be. So for the convenience of the programmer or the user, there are some the common functionalities were included in these header files. Okay, so for example here, if you need to output a text to the output window, again you need not write a separate code for that. So for that purpose we have a printf statement, just we need to that which is defined under the header file stdio.h. Okay, so if you want to use this printf function, we need to include that stdio.h header file at the beginning of the program. Okay, that's what we have done here. So following the next statement, we have main function. Okay, so main is known as the minimum function, or an entry point for the execution of the program. Okay, so always the execution of the programs begins with the main function. So every C program consists of at least one function which is known as the main function. Okay, so as we said, C follows the paradigm of structure oriented or procedure oriented paradigm, which means that just the code is organized into a blocks of statements known as functions or procedures. Okay, so if it need to be qualified as a C program, it must consist at least one function which is known as main function. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you write include statements, or whether you write the code inside the main function, or whether you write structures or arrays or user defined functions. If you just have that main title with the parentheses and open and close flower braces like this, it would be a qualified C program for you. Okay, so next to that we have the open parentheses. Okay, which is just to have state that the program has just been started here, and this is the closing of the program. Okay, there must be a starting point and ending point for the compiler to read the code. And then we have our typical printf statement here. Okay, so which is nothing but the purpose of this printf function is to just output some text to the standard output device, which is nothing but monitor. Okay, and the significance of the return 0 here is that it just tells the operating system that the execution of the program went smoothly without any errors. Okay, so if you look into the next slide, a lot of data has been given about compiling and linking and all those stuff here. Okay, so here we have integrated development environment. Okay, so it's a software package that makes it possible to edit, compile, link, execute and debug a program without leaving the environment. Okay, so this is the most sophisticated tool you can ever get to write C programs. Okay, so you can write C programs and execute using a notepad or textpad or text editors which are available in the market, but there is not a good practice. It reduces the productivity of the developer. Okay, so if you want to do real and good programming, you need to go for an IDE. Okay, so again we just have the simple form of the C program which we have just now discussed. At the very beginning we have the include directives, and then we have the main function, and then we have this following by the statements. Okay, so as we have said that the C uses this flower braces for the beginning and ending of the program. Okay, directives, as we have discussed, hash include std.h standard input output, which is abbreviated as standard input output.h, which consists all the functionalities or functions, predefined functions included in it, like printf, scanf, and so on and so forth. Okay. So what is a function? I have used the term function many times, so you might get what is a function here. Okay. So function is nothing but a function is nothing but uh, a series of statements that have been grouped together and given a name. Okay, so library functions provide as a part of C implementation. So C language is well supported by the standard library. Okay, so the many header files which consists of predefined functions come along with the installation of the C, which makes life easier for a C programmer. Okay. So the main function, it's as we have just discussed briefly. So main function is a very essential and mandatory function which is automatically called or invoked by the when the program is executed, and main returns an integer. Most commonly it is 0 only, to state the operating system that the execution of the program went smoothly without any errors. Okay, so return, in the most modern compilers the return statement is not necessary, so even though you include a int as a return type, but some compilers might produce a warning message. Okay, so always a best practice to add the return statement with 0 as argument and also the int as a return type for the main function. Okay, the statement, just to know the definition of a statement is a command to be executed when the program runs. Okay, so here we need to save the previous program which we have looked into as pun.c. Okay, so every statement in the C must end with a semicolon. Okay, so that is a very another important rule here we have. So every statement in the C must end with a semicolon. Okay. So printf function displays the strings enclosed in the quotation marks. Okay, it does not automatically advance the text to the next line, but we need to use this new line character, which is also known as escape characters or escape sequences. So new line and /n, which is meant for new line character. Okay, so if you include this /n character within your quotations of the printf statement, the whatever the text you are going to output to the standard output device will be outputted in the next consecutive line here. Okay, so last but not least, we have just modified the program into two parts here. At the beginning we have taken only one printf statement for the whole thing. So now what we have done is we have made that printf statement into two printf statement, consecutive printf statements, and then we have just outputted that text enclosed in the quotations here. In the next line we have just used the /n statement here. Okay, so you can, new line character doesn't mean that you need to break the printf statements into single printf statements, so number of printf statements. So you can add that new line character wherever you wanted to break the line and take the output in the show the output in the new line. So you can use this in the middle of the statements also. Okay, so this is all about the very basic C program, just how to print a message to the console window or output screen or standard output device, which is known as monitor. Okay, so in the next lesson we are going to discuss about the comments. So until that time, bye bye, have a good day.